Good morning, everybody. Carlos Guevara. So today I'm going to discuss the first chapter of the Scaffolding language, Scaffolding learning chapter by Gibbons. So first of all, the book starts off pretty well in explaining how teachers can influence how EL students or English learner students are impacted at the school level. Without the support that they need, they're not going to be able to advance that far in their academic um, arena. And just by showing the support, they are able to succeed. Um, One of the interesting things that the book starts off with is a story of this girl, Juliana, and the fact that she can express the way she feels and thinks socially in her own language is a sign that she may not be as well adapted to use English in academic terms. Um, because, as quoted by Gibbons, it requires more linguistic skills to use language for academic purposes than it does in everyday conversation, suggesting that even though Juliana does know English and can talk in English to her friends and peers, it will be a lot harder for her to use that skills in the classroom. And as the chapter progresses, we learn about some of the strategies in terms of scaffolding, but that's more towards the end, and moving towards academic language. We also see examples of how some of these skills are not just only for English learning students, but also throughout any other type of student as well. Like for example, there was a short little story of a mom and a dad and a little boy who went to the zoo, referring to a goat, on how they helped that boy figure out how to correct his sentencing. And that's something that I think that me learning as a student never really understood the concept of scaffolding. And I think that this chapter did a pretty good job in explaining what it means. Finally, I want to discuss a little bit about the high challenge, high support classroom chart. I like the fact that it's a pretty simple chart, just four little squares. The higher you are on the chart, the higher the challenge in terms of the academic curriculum. Obviously, low challenge is lower. To the left is high support, and to the right is low support. And I agree with the book. I agree with Gibbons that you really want to be in the high challenge, high support box, which is learning and engagement zone, also known as the zone of proximal development. If we are in an environment where we're challenging our students and giving the support that they need in order to be successful, then I think the student and the teacher will be more confident in themselves and being able to be successful. I've been in classes before where it was high challenging and my teacher was low supportive, and I felt that I didn't get the support that I needed. And of course, I ended up not doing so well in that classroom, especially since it was a honors class as well. And the same thing goes if you're in a low challenge, low support environment. It will just be boring. And if you're in a high support, low challenging area, then I just won't be as challenged enough. And then finally, in the chapter, it breaks down the chapters going forward, as well as it also summarizes the chapter as well. And that's it. Thank you.